Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
Do you prefer to work under pressure or to have a relaxed environment at work? Provide concrete examples to support your view.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep. Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between two people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between two people.
Hey, have you read about this? The plans for the gym?
Yeah, but I could sure think of better things to do with the money.
You're kidding. I thought you'd be all for it. You go to the gym all the time.
Yeah, but I never have any problem. Sure, there are a lot of people there, but I never have to wait to use the exercise bikes or even the weight machines. Do you?
Not really. It's not that busy.
The other thing is, well, we have all sorts of exercise programs, a terrific swimming pool that's always open, great running paths, all kinds of sports teams. I'm just saying that a bunch of new machines in the gym aren't going to make any difference. People like to get their exercise in different ways, and on this campus there are already plenty of choices.
You may be right.
The woman expresses her opinion about the plan described in the announcement.
The man expresses his opinion about the proposal in the newspaper. Briefly summarize the proposal. Then state the man's opinion and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep. Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
In economic theory, there is a principle known as the law of diminishing returns. This law holds that as more of a variable input, such as labor, is added to a fixed input, such as capital, the added output gained from each additional unit of the variable input will at some point start to decrease. The mechanism works in such a way that at a certain point, adding more labor or capital is not going to increase output at the same rate and will instead result in smaller and smaller increases. This concept is significant in business operations and strategic planning, for it guides businesses when to stop investing more resources.
Explain how the example from the lecture illustrates the concept of the law of diminishing returns.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep. You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Let's look at two popular programming styles: procedural and object-oriented programming. Procedural programming is a method of writing software. It is a series of computational steps to be carried out. Any given procedure might be called at any point during a program's execution, including by other procedures or itself. For example, you might have procedures that read from and write to a file, calculate the square root of numbers, etc. Object-oriented programming, however, organizes software design around data, or objects, rather than functions and logic. An object can be defined as a data field that has unique attributes and behavior. Examples of an object can range from physical entities, like a human being who is described by properties like name and address, down to small computer programs, like widgets. The key difference is that while procedural programming is about writing procedures or methods that perform operations on the data, object-oriented programming is about creating objects that contain both data and functions. Both have their pros and cons, and the choice between the two often depends on the specific needs of the software one is designing.
Compare and contrast procedural programming and object-oriented programming as discussed in the lecture. Give examples.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.